Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to take a look around my house at the Halloween decor that is already up. This year I was going for a witchy Halloween, which is the look I am trying to aspire to. I don't like to make it too scary because I have young children, and I like to make it a little bit more of a fantasy type feel at home. Now this console, the first look that I'm going to be showing you now is actually the look that I was trying to emulate from the Studio Mcgee catalog. Their Halloween decor was on sale, and this is similar to the picture that they had out on their website. I am a little unsure whether I can actually have the picture side by side so you can see or compare the two together. So I did not do that just in case it was not okay with copyright laws. I am a little unsure about that. But if you do want to have a look, you just need to go on their website. And you'd see that I've created a very, very similar look here. And it was all done with things from the dollar store. The only thing that's are not from the dollar store, obviously, are my console and this arch-shaped mirror, which I've had for a while. This black wreath was a DIY with these sprigs that I found at the dollar store. It cost me 60 crowns. I made it with 6 of these sprigs. If you want to see how I did that, you go on to the shorts on my channel and you will see that. And then on the Studio Mcgee site, they had these sprigs, and I wanted to try and emulate something like that as well. So it was quite easy. I found this black pot or planter, if you will, from the dollar store, and then I added some tape, as you saw, a grid, and then I started adding these sprigs that I found on my walk in the forest. I do go for a walk very often here in Sweden. It's beautiful this time of year. And so I picked up some of these sprigs and I started adding them into the vase. It helped with the tape and the grid that I made so that everything was not clustered together. And as you can see, I am just filling up the empty spaces, and I am trying to create a look similar to what I saw in their Halloween picture. It was very easy and it did not take me very long. Once I was at the end of that, I looked at it and it looked really nice, very organic, very rustic. I enjoyed it, creating it a lot. And then I moved on to these witches' hats, which I did find at the dollar store as well. I wanted them to stand up, so I just turned them upside down and added a lot of paper inside, and with that it helps them stand straight up. They were from the dollar store, so they are not very, very expensive. They were 10 crowns each for me here in Sweden, and the ones on the Studio Mcgee site were beautiful. They were made out of a woven type, rattan type material, which of course I could not emulate, but it does give me the look for a lot less with these dollar store witch hats. Then I moved on to decorating my dining table. I usually like to do a tablescape. I found this twig while I was on one of my walks, and carrying the witches theme to the tablescape as well, I started with adding some moss on the table, as you can see, and then started filling in sections with all the things that I had collected over the years and things I have normally out in the house. This plant, for example, is always out during the year. The hat stands is on a cake stand. This pumpkin I picked up at the grocery store. There were only two of each of them, so I just picked up one. I'm going to be buying a few more small pumpkins, but I haven't had the time to do that as yet. So that was my base there, and then I moved on my wreath here to the corner cupboard, and I added the dollar store bird up at the top of the cupboard. It looked much nicer there. And this is the final look that I settled on. I did change out the painting, which is also a dollar store painting of flowers I picked up last year. I thought it looked a lot more moodier than the floral DIY frame that I had made, even though I loved it a lot. I moved it to the kitchen. The hats, and then I sprinkled some of these leaves that I had picked up on my walk, the antlers, some acorns, and all of that extra leaves and acorns, and these beautiful birds I picked up on Amazon last year, and the bats, some of which I've cut out from black paper and some I have bought, all made for a very witchy Halloween feel here on my console as you enter our home. And as you can see, this is another one of the birds. I bought 3, I believe, in a set, and this one was the largest one with quite a long feathered tail. I put a bat on the candle, and I just make these as I go along. I usually try to be creative, see where I need to add some things, maybe take away some things. My husband has a really good eye for these things, so I will get his opinion. But as you can see, I've kept most of the pieces that I started with on my table here. I have only changed out the picture and added some leaves and acorns and bats and birds just to give it a woodsy, Halloween witchy feel. And I did the same thing here on my dining table so that I carry the same theme throughout. You can see I used my black kettle I got from a friend of mine some years ago, some black candle stands. I put a bird on one of the sprigs of the branch that I picked up on my walks, some candles glowing in the night, and all of it makes for a very, very festive Halloween. And next week, I'm going to be adding in all the cobwebs and decorating upstairs as well. So stay tuned for that video. That one is coming up, and I will take you on a tour of the entire house. But this is where I have started, and as you can see, I added in the skull in the corner there. It's very discreet, but it is there. My kids thought it was fun. These mushrooms I picked up at a garden center last year, and we've got a spider on top there where my husband actually made that spider from. They're called pipe cleaners. He's really very talented, but there was some at the dollar store that were also very, very nice. I'm quite inclined to go and buy them maybe after Halloween is over, because then I probably get them on a better deal. This bird sat on this branch so beautifully. It looks so quaint, it looks so spooky, and it goes really well with all the other bird paintings we have in our home. So this is the final look, and my son added the bat on the witch's hat, and everything just came together so nicely. I couldn't be more thrilled with how things turned out. I had some leftover bats, which I added to this mirror going up the stairs, but I feel like I'm going to need a lot more bats for next week, because I'm going to be decorating the porch, the kitchen, and upstairs sitting room. So I better get to it. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give this video a big thumbs up. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And please join me on YouTube Shorts, where I'll be giving you 2 quick DIYs this week as well. Thank you for joining me this week. Join me next week where I take you on an entire tour of my house. Have a good week, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.